The Rocky Patel 20th Anniversary Maduro 6x50 stick. Stay tuned. Welcome to Cigar Perspective, guys and gals. I am David, and as I said in the intro, we do have the Rocky Patel 20th Anniversary Maduro today. This stick is gonna be very, very good, I do believe. This is the 6x52 box press. It has the same wrapper, binder, and filler as the natural, which is very interesting, which is the Honduran wrapper, Honduran binder, and the Honduran and Nicaraguan fillers. So let's check out the aromas here and see what we get right off the bat. A little bit of leather, definitely earth, and some chocolate in there. Leathery, earth, chocolatey aroma right in the beginning. So it's got a band on the bottom there too, so we'll take that off right away. Let's get it cut up, introduce the flame, and see how it develops. Go ahead and get her lit up here. It's a really nice morning. I'm in Wisconsin. It's the middle of May and the sun's out. It's perfect. I got my balcony door open this morning. Nice little wind coming in. I think the torch just went down, guys. 1 second. Oh, that's rich right off the bat. Sort of mocha-y. A chocolate mocha sort of flavor coming off right away. That's definitely a good cigar. Starting off really, really good. So, starting off with some mocha, chocolatey, and some leather in there, a little bit of earth for sure, kind of almost like a very, very subtle, like a gritty earth almost, but not quite gritty, if that makes sense. And then the mocha chocolatey flavors in there as well. So today I want to discuss PAWs with you guys. It's post-acute withdrawal syndrome, and I went through it very, very badly. And when I was going through it, it's so hard to find any credible, valuable information if you're going through it, and it can be the most frustrating thing, and you can feel so alone and lost just looking for any sort of answers that you can find for what your body's going through, what your mind, what you're feeling. The doctors don't seem to have a lot of answers for it at this point either. It seems like it hasn't been presented enough, and because when I was seeing doctors and things, I was not getting any answers that were actually helping me out very well. It was a lot of having to do things on my own. So during this review, I'm going to discuss that, and we're going to go over this really good cigar. So let's see a little bit more with the cigar here first. Nice thick smoke, a lot of smoke, really open draw, very open, easy to draw, and just a lot of thick smoke. There's even like there's like a slight graham cracker coming in too, just very subtle graham crackery. And then you got the mocha and the earth and the leather still in there too. And then there's a subtle pepper coming in as well. I can definitely taste the pepper is starting to come in. But I'm very pleased with this draw and how open the draw is. It's one of the easiest drawing cigars I've had, I think. Very open. So, as this develops into the first third, I just want to give you guys some insight and tips and some help if you need it on this topic. So, I was on a methadone treatment program for 2.5 years, and I decided I wanted to get away from it and I couldn't take it anymore. But I weaned myself down to 11 milligrams of methadone and decided to just walk away from treatment, and hoping that I'd be able to heal good enough and get my body to the right place. So the first 2 months after I walked away from it without taking my methadone every day, I felt good. I thought I was going to be able to do really well. I felt my body was normal, felt pretty normal. A few little withdrawal symptoms and stuff. The first 48 to 72 hours is extremely hard going through that first withdrawal period, getting off of methadone. But after that, I felt good. But then around the end of the 2-month period, mentally, I started noticing a lot of changes, and I was feeling very weak, and I needed support from people around me. I felt like I wasn't able to feel good by myself. I needed to be around people that I knew loved me, like family and friends and stuff. And I started to notice very big changes in my mental state. And as I was I started seeing doctors and trying to get answers, and all that they would do is try to prescribe antipsychotics and different pills that they said could help with like withdrawal side effects and things like that. And that did not help the situation at all. I think that if you're gonna consider taking an antipsychotic or an antidepressant when you're going through PAWs syndrome, post-acute withdrawal syndrome, you really need to be aware of what you're getting into, because your body is already chemically changed so much, and you have damage to you've hurt your brain and your body mentally, physically. If you're gonna add another medication, you must do a lot of research and understand what that medication does, side effects, and how hard it's gonna be to come off of that medication later, because post-acute withdrawal syndrome is very, very, very hard to get over and do without adding all this extra stuff that's going to create more side effects, more problems, more pain, potentially more weakness. That's not the road you want to go down with it. You want to stay as natural as you can when you're going through PAWs syndrome. It's very important. This cigar is absolutely amazing though. And I had to stop drinking coffee. I drink matcha tea and super greens pretty much all the time. I had oat milk. It's basically with a little bit of either vanilla or honey. But I think they pair really good with cigars. It's awesome. Great pair. Still a lot of thick smoke. Got a really good burn, real good burn. Nice open draw, leather and mocha, chocolatey. Little graham cracker and pepper in there. We're getting there to the first third here. So you want to stay as natural as possible. You do not want to start adding other things in. The only thing that I would actually suggest as far as supplements and stuff is like, you want to take vitamin C, you want to take vitamin B, you want to take fish oil, you want to take slippery elm extract, and you also want to try to find a quality CBD that can work for you. Not one that'll make you fail a drug test though, or make you have THC in your system. get a legit CBD that works, and make sure you're taking a dose of that every day too, because I really think that will help people going through PAWs syndrome as well. And it's really important too that you are not eating, that you're cutting out sugar. Sugar will make, it's high inflammatory, and it's only going to cause problems for your body. It's going to make you feel weaker. It's going to make you feel a lot worse at a time when your body needs to be healing. Like, basically what you want to be doing is no soda, not even diet. You want to be drinking a lot of water, and you can try sparkling water, maybe some kombucha. And I say the super greens, the green tea, and then the matcha, things like that, like things that are more stomach soothing type of drinks and not high acidic. Even coffee, I would cut out coffee too if you're going through it. I would try to put the best things in that you can, and also eliminate more red meats. Try to eat more fish and seafoods. And you want things that burn clean. You want a nice clean burn when you're going through this, because if you're in PAWs syndrome, you need to get your energy level up. Somehow your energy level needs to get a boost. You're gonna feel really weak and tired mentally, physically, and it's not gonna take that much. I personally, as far as like work goes, when you're going through PAWs syndrome, I think that the best thing to do is get a repetitive job that's not very physically demanding. You want something where you don't have to make your brain go crazy all day trying to figure all these things out. You just want to be able to flow through your job with a rhythm that's not going to hurt you. Your body needs this time to heal. Doesn't need time to be doing all this crazy stuff. You just need to be healing. But you're going to have to most likely work. It's pretty hard for most people to just cut out everything in their lives and remove all the stress for however period of time and survive and not pay any bills or not do anything. So you got to find ways to be realistic with that. But one thing you can do is like customer service type jobs on the phone. Working in a call center is not very demanding. It can be a little mentally stressful, but overall, if you work for just like a sales website, not necessarily a sales, but like a site like a Amazon or a Rulala, Guilt, or Spanx, those type of sites, like those are very repetitive, easy jobs. You go through that over and over. The calls are short. It's more, a little bit longer call times in between, at least in my experience with when I worked there and when I was doing things. And again, I do my reviews and I do this stuff for fun. I work on the side and stuff. This is not my job, so. But I'm just trying to help people understand that with PAWs syndrome, it's a long journey back to health, and it can take 2 years or more to heal from post-acute withdrawal syndrome. For most people, it's going to take 1 to 2 years, and for some people, it's going to take a lot longer than 2 years. It's very, very frustrating and upsetting at times because your body changes so much during PAWs, and you may not recognize yourself or feel like yourself for quite a while, but some people will make it through and others aren't going to be able to sort of get through it very well. So we're right at the third point, almost at the third here, so I want to go ahead and jump back into this cigar and just discuss this for another few moments here. So this, at almost the third, we have The cocoa, or not cocoa, the mocha and the chocolate is still there. That little graham cracker is still there. There's a little bit of pepper, and there's a little bit of leather, and the earth is still there. The burn is, it's a little funny, but it's not bad. It's still a good burn overall. It's just kind of a little bit more wavy than I would like it, but at the first third, we're looking pretty good. It's still tasting really good. I feel like we're gonna get some transitions pretty soon here though. So I'm gonna take a little break and come back when we're closer to the halfway point and pick back up with the discussion and the review. Welcome back. So we are at the halfway point. So now that we've reached the halfway point, the graham cracker has faded out, and what has started to come in, a lot more pepper, woody, like a oaky note has started to come in at this halfway point, and you still got the mocha chocolate in there, but there's no more graham cracker, and there's a very like subtle creaminess. The smoke's still really nice and thick. The burn's looking good. So we'll go ahead and get back to the discussion and see how it continues to develop. I am going to go ahead and purge this cigar quick as we finish it. That burnt up pretty good, quite a bit in there that time. I definitely suggest doing that to your cigars when you light them and get a good cherry going. Go ahead and blow out and light and give that a good, get that ammonia out of there. It will make your cigars taste different as well. So I wouldn't be surprised if this changes a little bit more and maybe opens up, comes more creamy. But we'll see how it goes. But the body's definitely a medium to full on this one. I'm feeling like right now it's medium, but it's, as it gets further along, I feel like it's developing more into a full body cigar. And then another thing too that I wanted to mention is these cigars, the price point on these is around $8.99 to $12.99 depending on where you get them. If you get them in the retail stores, you're likely going to pay $11 or $12.99, but if you get them online, you can probably get a much better deal. I paid $8.99 for the one that I have here online, so it's a really good price point for these cigars. They're really worth it. They're great cigars. This one's been amazing so far, so see how it finishes. We're almost to the band here. But there's still a few more things. So another thing is I want to say is make sure that if you're not a workout person, if you don't do that kind of stuff, get up and go for walks if you're going through PAWs syndrome. The best thing you can do is get your blood moving. You're gonna want to feel like laying around. You're most likely gonna feel more in a depressed state and just really blah, not happy with life or the world, and everything is just gonna feel really rough for quite a while, and it's gonna be hard to get over. But if you can get, what I would do when I was going through it was I would get up and go for walks as much as I could, like drive myself to get energy to get out and go for a walk. I would do that, and I always would feel better afterwards, because for one, you get out around a few people. I know right now we have some stuff going on in the world, and that doesn't sound like the best thing to do, but just the energy of others and people being around you can make you feel better when you're feeling weak and low and depressed, upset. And it's going to get your blood moving. You don't want to just sit around stagnant all the time with your blood's not moving. You're having problems with circulation. Mentally you're weak, physically you're weak, and now you're just laying around and you have no circulation, nothing. You're just feeling terrible. You can't let yourself do that. You have to find ways to get some exercise, and you don't have to kill yourself, but definitely go for walks. Get out in nature, maybe have a cigar. Do what you need to do. This discussion right now is not just for cigar smokers. This is for anybody going through PAWs. Like, I understand what you're going through, and I know that a lot of times you're just looking for answers and we just need a little bit of help to get through it. But get out into the world and go for a walk. Do what you need to do to feel better about your day and moving forward for you, because you can move forward and get through it. Sometimes it will get too bad. I know not everybody makes it through, and that is a very frustrating thing. I have to say personally, I made it 8 months, and I was in such a terrible place, and I was so weak. I couldn't keep a job. Everything was falling apart. I felt like I just was never ever gonna be myself ever. So I did go back to treatment, and I am on a very low dose. My goal is to stay as low as possible and just maintain life and feel as normal, just to live life normal and stay as low as possible. But if you can make it through and find a way, then I encourage that, because if I could have and I felt that I could have, then I would have made it. But at the time that I went back, I was experiencing mutism. I did not talk. I couldn't think clearly. My cognitive ability was pretty much gone. I couldn't take instructions from people. Physically, I was so weak. I never wanted to get out of bed. I just laid in bed. When I would go to work, my employers would make comments about how they could see how weak I was and that I was not going to be able to keep up, and I was going to get hurt at work because I had no energy and no ability to do the jobs at hand. So that's why you have to have a simple, easy job when you're going through this. If you're going to make it through, you cannot put yourself through extra stress. It's so important that you don't put yourself through any extra stress during post-acute withdrawal syndrome. But another thing is to make sure that you have a very, very strong support system. I'm going to take the band off here. When I was going through it, and when my mutism and things got bad, I couldn't make decisions. The people around me knew something was wrong, and one of my closest friends would come over and see me, and she would start crying while we were hanging out, and it was so devastating to realize that that's what my life had become, that I was that weak mentally and that I couldn't make a decision or just live through a normal day. And luckily for me, she supported me so much that even though it hurt her that much, she would still come back and see me, and she knew how much I needed some real support from someone who actually cared and wanted to be there for somebody and understand and save a life, pretty much, because it was bad. And when it gets that bad, you really want to just give up, but you gotta find a way. You just make a decision. If you can't make it, then maybe you do have to go back and go get back on a low dose and try again, if that's what it comes to. But at least I feel like I gave it a really good shot, though. I tried to make it. I do not want to be going to a clinic every day. That's not how I want to live my life. I made mistakes in my 20s early on, and I've learned from it. So, and I wanted to be done, but post-acute withdrawal syndrome is very serious and very dangerous. Be open with the people around you. Be open with your doctor. Be open with everybody. Even if you don't take a new prescription, just be open with the doctor so they know what's going on. Be open with the people around you. You're gonna have to have a counselor. You're gonna have to be in therapy. So be open with your therapist about what you're feeling. Don't be scared of your feelings. If you're feeling suicidal and things, say it. Tell somebody you feel that way so that at least people know. That was the first time in my life where I actually felt suicidal. I have never, ever even considered it, but feeling that weak and that low and feeling like there was no end, and progressively, unfortunately with PAWs, because it's such a long term, it takes so long to heal, you might hit a year before you've even peaked at the worst symptoms. I was in month 8 and it was progressively getting worse, and I was getting weaker and weaker. My mutism was getting worse. I was getting quieter. I couldn't talk. I didn't want to talk. I didn't want to be around anybody. I just wanted to be around myself and do what I lay in bed or try to go for a walk. It was very, very bad for a while. It was very frustrating. But I did smoke cigars then, and cigars were one of my ways of escaping in my therapy. But even during that time, I love cigars very much. I am a big cigar person, and I had a hard time even enjoying cigars during that time. And I would light a cigar sometimes and just barely smoke it, put it out, a little relight it, put it out. I could not decide if I wanted to smoke it, how much I wanted, what kind I wanted. I would stand in a humidor forever just trying to pick a cigar because I didn't even know what to smoke or what to do. The indecisiveness when your brain is that weak is unbelievable. How hard it is just to get through a simple day of life. Like, it's very, very scary. Looking back on those days, I am so lucky. I have support from my family and from friends, and you know, the girl that supported me through all that is actually my girlfriend now, and I'm lucky that I have her in my life, that she is who she is and cares as much as she does. So, but we're past the halfway point, almost to the final third here. This cigar is tasting really great. The mocha and the chocolatiness is definitely still there. The wood is picked up more. It's kind of like an oaky wood that's in there. The pepper's definitely still there. The earth is I'd say the earth is definitely still there too. It's just a little bit more subtle at this point. But I would definitely, I'm giving this cigar an 8 out of 10. I think it's a really good cigar. I recommend it to everybody. Beginners, long-term smokers. I think everybody would really enjoy this Rocky Patel 20th anniversary Maduro. The natural and the Maduro look the same, except for one says natural, one says Maduro. They have the same wrapper and binders, but they are a decently different cigar. And this is Maduro's turning out really good. So, the last thing I want to talk about with PAWs, and during this discussion anyways, is just that you may notice, and it's kind of a touchy subject, but you may notice your sexual functioning being a little bit funny and not right. So if you look at, you're on methadone for a long time, and methadone suppresses you, and obviously it's suppressing your nerves and suppressing your circulation, all sorts of things within your body. So when you remove that, you're going to notice a complete opposite. Nothing is going to be suppressed, and your nerve endings are damaged from all that methadone and things. So it's going to be, everything is going to be even more sensitive. It's not going to feel right, and you're going to probably have a lot of frustrating times. So the best thing to do is definitely if you're in a relationship, is to be very open and honest with people about what's going on and why it's happening. Because your significant other will get very frustrated with you if you're lying and they know something is going on, but you're too embarrassed or ashamed to discuss it. Like, this is part of the withdrawal. This is part of what you went through, and it's just another step in the process of getting where you want to go. So just be open with who you're with about what's going on, and if you do have any issues, don't be afraid to discuss it, because it will be very different for a while, and there will be times that you get very, very, very frustrated with the way things are and wondering if it'll ever be the same again. But you have to heal. Healing is it takes so long. Unfortunately, we can't heal overnight, but what you have to do is put the right things in. The more junk you put in, the more foolish things that you do to your body, if you're in PAWs syndrome, the worse it's going to get. You have to be as healthy as you can be and stay hydrated, get exercise, and make the right decisions to feel good and do good. Take your supplements. Don't neglect things. It can be expensive to eat good. Take supplements every day and do those things, but it's very, very important that you stick with that regimen and going on the path of getting healthier and stronger and not weaker. So guys and gals, if you are struggling and you have any concerns, any questions, anything you would like to discuss with PAWs with me, if you want any, I'm definitely open to help anybody with it. I have a lot more knowledge than just in this video about it. This was just me wanting to share some of my thoughts and ideas because I've been through it, and I have done research and went through a lot for a long time, and I am willing to to help others understand and get through it as well. So let's get back to the cigar for a bit. Here we are in the final third. The smoke is still really nice and thick, and the burn is good. The ash with this one does not really hold on. I've actually had it fall off on me, I think twice during this one. I expected it to hold on better, but it does not hold on very long. It comes right off. So I'm curious to maybe get another one and test it with another one and see how long it does hold on, if it's just this cigar or if it's all of them. So, but in the final third, entering this final third here, you definitely have the earth still there. You definitely have the mocha is gone. There's a little like subtle kind of like a dark chocolate now. It's not so much the milky mocha-y chocolatey flavor anymore. And then you have a lot of oak wood flavor. The pepper is picked up a lot, getting a lot of pepper, and the leather is faded out going into the final third. But it's definitely, I give it an 8 out of 10 and recommend it to anybody who smokes cigars. This is, if you like Maduros especially, you're really going to enjoy this one. So I'm going to go ahead and get a little bit more past the final third, come back and let you guys know how it finishes. See you in a few. Alright, so we have gotten past that final third area here. This is really starting to pick up the pepper, so I'm going to let it go out pretty soon here. So in this final third, it is a lot of oak, the oak wood. The mocha is really starting to fade out. That pepper is really picking up, the black pepper, towards this ending here. I'm not a big fan of cigars when they do that at the end, but overall this cigar has been amazing. Just towards the end here, the pepper's really picking up. I still give it a good rating, 8 out of 10. It's a great cigar. Anybody should enjoy this cigar. So, but in the end here, it's oaky, pepper, and the earth is still there. So, good cigar, still got a lot of smoke, good draw. The burn's still pretty good. The ash is holding on a little bit right now though. I know this was a little bit more serious discussion during this review with the PAWs syndrome, but I just wanted to discuss it a little bit. I know that it's very hard to find information about it and it can be very frustrating. There's not a lot of people talking about it yet, and even the doctors, when I was talking to doctors, it was very new to a lot of them. Some of the counselors I talked to, it's very new to them. So we're all learning together, and we all have to make progress and try to help each other to figure this thing out. I am here. Please send me a message, questions, comments, anything that you want to discuss, or if you have going through it and you want help or a question or anything, I will gladly help you and discuss it with you. So guys, this has been the Rocky Patel 20th anniversary Maduro. Grab yourself one, it's worth it. Please like and subscribe. We're gonna have a lot more videos coming. We're gonna do some fun giveaways. We're gonna have some good discussions later down the road, some interviews. Guys and gals, thanks for watching.